Hey guys, so we just wanted to address rumors or if you've heard anything about us due to
Ballrooms.
ballrooms, like um,
Maybe a bad vendor list
or bad vendor lists. Yeah, so
or
we've been on
just-
2 bad vendor lists as far as we know. I won't say. Should I say names?
No,
I won't
we
say
won't say the
names for
ballrooms
the
or
first
anything.
ballroom, but this particular ballroom we used to work with, and he was a stillwalker, and I was a waiter, and in return for us working for them, they gave us a lot of their clients, and we charged 300 each package, and it was cheap, but it was a lot of clients. So what happened was this one client that we were at, it was Super Bowl weekend, and he was unable to get there on time. He was 5 minutes late. It was, first of all, it was a canceled practice, and then she realized she wanted to practice, so he was with his family. So when she said she wanted to continue practice, he went. He was 5 minutes late, and when we got there, we walked in, and I didn't say hi to her mother. And this family at the time was drinking. They were already, it was Super Bowl weekend. They were drinking, and we did the whole practice, and we finished. And when we were done, the mom was angry at this point, and she started yelling because she said, "Well, why didn't you guys just come in with a bad attitude?" And words were said, and then her husband pushed me against the wall, and we quit the contract.
Ever since then,
And what my words were said was that she said, "I'm going to call I'm going to call the hall owner that you guys work with, and I am going to tell your manager." And she called her our manager, when we're our own manager when it comes to the company. And she said, "And I'm going to tell them how you guys are being, and I hope she fires you." And we said, she don't have a manager, we're our own manager, we have our own company. This hall that we work with just recommends you and gives you a half price because you go with their hall. And that was it. And then she called this person at the hall, and the person was completely on their side and reimbursed them the money that they had paid us for the choreography, and then completely
just look back.
made us look bad, and then stopped working with us. And since then, they took us off their vendor list, and it has brought down clients. Okay, so a couple months after that, we no longer work with them. We're on our own. We're always on our own now. So
We have another client that is from that ballroom, but not through them, but because
So, finishing with that hall, let's go to this other hall, Luxor. This started all because of a Facebook post, but I'm gonna start from the beginning. Our last payment is to be required to be giving the hall practice, and this particular mom couldn't give it the hall practice, so we made an arrangement to pay it the day of the quince. So we did the dance, and she had hired 2 stillwalkers, and before we gave her the stillwalkers, we were asked for the payment. And this mom was already intoxicated, and she was upset because I guess the dad of the mom or something like that, he wasn't with her, and it was a whole thing, but that's not her business. And she pulled out a bag of cocaine, and she told Adam that that's how she can pay him. And we had our own choreographers there, and we had our boys because she hired our chambelanes, and we canceled the contract. Now, when we canceled this contract, we just canceled the stillwalkers because that was all that was left that she needed to pay for. So we did the choreography, which was fine. We had another event that night of stillwalkers that it was at a bar, so it didn't matter what time we got there. They said it was late, so we knew we could have both events the same night. So we went, and after that, I guess mom was very upset that we canceled the contract, but it just makes sense. We're not gonna get paid with drugs, we get paid cash. So the next day, I guess her son, he wasn't aware that his mom offered us that, so he went on a Facebook rant and posted, "Don't hire these guys because they didn't give my sister her stillwalkers," and blah 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 blah. And I messaged the mom saying, "Your son doesn't know the full story. Now if you want him to know the full story, I'll go ahead and post the real story."
which we did, and mistakenly I had mentioned Luxor's name in my post.
We posted it because her son did not take it off, and our stars on Facebook, they were everything to us, our 5 stars. So, and that brought us down, and we weren't gonna have it. So we mentioned the whole story like we just said to you, and we said that's the reason why we cancel. We don't just cancel for no reason. We cancel either for aggression or either non-payment, and that was a non-payment.
And both, actually.
And so Luxor didn't know the full story either, and they thought we just canceled the Stillwalkers because we had another event, but that wasn't true. So that I want to clear up and I hope that you guys a lot of you guys understand. You know, we're not douchebags, we're not bad guys. We don't just cancel for no reason.
So Luxor never understood that situation since then. They never really wanted to talk more about it. They were just upset that we had mentioned their name and basically made them look bad because we have a lot of people that follow us.
By mentioning their name, we mentioned their name in their Facebook post by saying
that it was at their hall, that all this took place at their hall.
And they were upset at that.
And they were really upset, which I said sorry, blah, blah, blah. There's a nicer way to say things. I have messages, not going to show it, don't care. But
if we
thought we moved past it.
But if it does get into anything serious, after this video, we do have the whole messages with the hall owner, and we were not afraid to show them.
He gave us permission. So, you would think they'd be over it months, but we had another client who had that hall, and it
was a beautiful event.
They handled the situation that should have been handled months ago. This 15
at the hall practice,
at the actual hall practice, they saw us, they recognized us, and they basically said,
what had happened,
get out. We want you.
They did that, but they told him to get out, and the mom said no, we want him there because he's a choreographer. I didn't choreograph it, he did. I'm just there because I had
the itinerary.
And when we got there, I guess Luxor didn't know I had the itinerary, and because I normally go first to the DJ. They didn't have their DJ there. So I just held it, and he immediately called the mom and the dad into the office.
Instead of saying like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you had these people that are so unorganized."
Yeah, he was teaching, and then I walked in, and I went because I felt like he was gonna try to do the itinerary with them, but when I already have it, it's unnecessary. And then I knew something was off, so I went into the office myself. And sure enough, he was saying, we're really sorry you got them. They're horrible. They're going to be late to your event. So therefore, just go with our itinerary. And if you got Stillwalkers, it's not going to work out. And I was like, whoa, dude. I stood quiet. I let him talk. And then, because I was going to kill him with kindness. And I said, whoa. And I had my itinerary both Spanish and English. But mom wanted it in Spanish. So I was ready to give it. No, mom, she wanted it in English. So I had it there. And I showed it. This is exactly because he was doing it all on yellow paper, and it already had scribble on it because he crossed out some names. And then this guy doesn't speak English very well, and so he really couldn't put it in. Yeah, so he got upset because he was writing his in Spanish, and then that's when I said, "Mom, you wanted it in English, right?" And she said yes. And then I showed it to her, and she started reading it, and she said, "Perfect." And that's when he slammed his hands on the table. And he said, well, I can put it, I'm not going to talk how he talks. He said, well, I can put it in English too. He's like, he said, I Bailey. And by the way, our name is I Baile Company. A lot of people say I Bailey or E Baile. No, it's I Baile. And he said, well, if I Bailey thinks they can do it in English, I can do it in English too. And the mom looked at him and the dad looked at him like, whoa. And I told them, I said, you guys see that it is not me with the problem.
We had already warned them, because it was Luxor, just to keep in mind that they might not be nice.
Well, we didn't warn them. What had happened was that when we had their third practice, they told us, oh, Luxor says that they don't allow you guys. That's how we knew that we were on their bad vendor list, because they said, you're on the bad vendor list and they don't allow you guys there. And then we said, well, that's weird. So we still went, Mom said, you guys still go. And we still went. We still had about 3 events after that with them in their other hall. And it went really well. And then
during that hall practice, though, when we called his dad, Mr. Sergio, and he wanted to talk to us in private in his office for whatever reason. And it felt like they cornered us. It felt like...
No, it didn't felt. They did. They did. They closed their door.
They tried closing the door on us as I was trying to leave because I have a hall practice to do, and they're interrupting that time.
Yeah, so a couple months ago, I posted the video of him trying to close it. And so when I got into an internet argument a couple weeks ago with the other former choreographer, she did mention that I posted all my problems with the halls. So this video is going to clear all of that as well.
We don't have anything against Luxor. It's just lack of communication. We don't have issues with any of the other ballrooms that we've mentioned. It just seems that because we're so young, they think that we're immature, we don't know what we're doing. And the thing is that this is our passion, this is what we live on, this is what we do.
In all honesty, one day we will own a ballroom, and we will do it the right way.
Because it's crooked. We know things that shouldn't be going on, and we know and we just know a lot of things, and we keep our mouths shut, and still will keep it shut because it's not our place. We just wish we would get more respect from them.
And just to clear something else up, the reason why we're posting this and why we post everything that happens is because these halls, they have a louder voice than us, and they're allowed to manipulate things, change it up, and they get a lot more clients than we do because
they're older, they trust them more.
Not only that, they have the halls, and people go to see their halls, and they ask, do you guys know any choreographers? And we're the first ones to say, oh no, you know what, don't go with them because they won't blah 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 blah, and they won't go with us. And
there's two sides to every story.
Yes, there is two sides to every story. Don't think we're internet crybabies. We're not. You guys are our viewers who we can actually
relate to. We love.
No, not really. Yeah, I guess can't relate, but I want you guys to understand us, and you are our audience, and we don't have a louder voice than this. So we hope with this video it clears up a lot of things. If you do have an event with Luxor, we are allowed there because we have like 6 right now in the hall. We do go, so don't think that you're not allowed to hire us because you can. I hope that this clears up everything, and I appreciate you guys watching us. And we will make more videos, and they won't all be on drama. And I just want. Oh, and another thing, I wanted to apologize for going on the Instagram rants on the beginning of this month. It was childish. It should have been handled privately. It wasn't. Again, that was something that shouldn't have been posted, but I apologize, and I hope we can move past that. Thank you guys.